Hi, welcome. This is a video to explain a little bit more how ArcoLinux is structured. This week, so last week, I've restructured, reorganized, renamed ArcoLinux, and it's I think also important for users, certainly for people who use ArcoLinux D and ArcoLinux B, who are going to build, to understand the structure. I was losing time, and I've made a new folder structure. This is my new folder structure. That's the personal one. So this is all ArcoLinux, and it's now like this on the machine. If you do a Ctrl-Alt-G, you have that in no time. You can have exactly the same thing. The only thing you need to do is run the script Arco gets started 3. That's it. You get this, well, we can run it. We can have this package. Let's see first if the download is empty. So the download is not empty. So get rid of that, and then we downloaded this thing. Okay, and then extract here. And what you do is you're gonna put these guys, well, what I do is I run this one, minimal start version 2, but you make your own minimal version 2, right? You check what's in here. But basically, if you want to have all these structures and the scripts that come with it, then you say just copy, go to your place you like, because, well, I want to have it on the home here in front of me, Control V, and it's going to replace, hopefully, everything is exactly the same thing, right? Replace all. That's simple. So this means you get everything in, not all these folders, of course, but just a bunch of black things, scripts. And then when it's the first time, you say, I'm gonna run the first time all the ArcoLinux B ISOs. So this is everything you need to build any desktop on ArcoLinux, right? Qtile, it's there. It's the installation script, run 30, the information is here, etc. So this is what we do, this is our stuff. And then you make your own folders. I'm gonna make my own thing, ArcoLinux, Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V. It's never gonna be overwritten because you rename it to, I don't know, Star Wars, okay? This is your thing. And you change anything in here, this is never ever gonna be overwritten because we don't have that name, right? So you can compare these two with a, well, Star Wars is gone now, but you can compare these two and then it's okay. Just an idea. So the structure, we had a bunch of elements in one particular place. Let's show you. When we do a sudo pacman -s, we have ArcoLinux, right? And let's make this way bigger. When we press tab several times, come on, there he is. This is everything we've ever created, and it can become a little bit difficult to get things. What is all this, right? So we've renamed things like this here, config. So these are all the things in your .config, the elements that are inside Ctrl-H. Anything that's in here that's not really desktop related, but what's actually making a beautiful desktop. So it might be the theming and the cursors and all that, but essentially, no, it's not essential. It's not desktop essential. Okay, so that's all the configs, and I've put them all together. All the configs are in here, which means that from time to time, if there is something that is applicable for any and all of them, I'll just change things, push to all ArcoLinux config kits, or add file to, well, I need to write that, I see, not finished. So things that I are applicable for everything, we cannot actually build it in one go, but building is something else. It's another place altogether, but this is all the AUR, all the GitHubs. So all together. So this, did I close it? No. So these are all the informations to get it all clear in my head. And I hope it's all becoming more clear after this video. So let's go ahead. Let's start, let's end with this one, because this is the rest folder. So this was filled with all of them previously, just one, and that was it. And it was, like I said, was losing time, because it was containing a lot of folders. And where are the folders, right? So I've put all the ArcoLinux B guys together. So if you want to have an ArcoLinux B build, it's gonna be there. And it's the same procedure. First, if you don't have any of these folders, you get them. You run number 1, get all ArcoLinux B folders. Then when you got them and it's a month later and you want to get the latest configuration in, you're gonna pull it again. So you're gonna pull the changes, the differences. And this is, of course, for me, you need an account to have it. So I'm gonna push it back to the ArcoLinux B, and some scripting to replace things. So I replace this with that in the package.conf, add the line after, stuff like that, that might interest you as a scripter. These guys are all about Calamaris. Cal is Calamaris. It's all the configurations we need. There is an application that runs Calamaris, and there's a configuration. So I am ArcoLinux and I use this picture for that, etc. So every Calamaris has a, every desktop, PSP.wm, has its own nice branding with a nice picture, right? So you have to make a different configuration for every one of them. Also the LTS. So this is already a big bunch that's out of my folder previously in ArcoLinux. All the configuration files are together, so the non-essential desktops, you choose one and stick with it, or don't choose one, which is maybe more interesting. If you don't choose the config, any of them, then you don't have icons, themes, cursors and all the stuff. So you'll see how that looks, and then you make your own config, right? The ArcoLinux D, people who have the idea to start with a black screen, the ArcoLinux D ISO, and then script your way into, well, a system that's fully installed, but maybe not the Samba, because you don't want it and you're not printing, etc., etc. You just change again these scripts. Again, the same tip applies: Control-Alt, Control-C, Control-V. It's never gonna be overwritten. You just rename it to something appropriate, and then you compare between these two guys. What's new after a month's time? We always keep updating, and after a month's time you say git pull, and it's here, pull, and then you just compare again. The Decomp, that's a tough call, in the sense that the Decomp is a kind of database. I need to make a video about that. There is already a video, but maybe some more information about it. It's the one file that contains some of the settings, not all of the settings. Some applications write to a database, and often it's that tricky that this is the official one and that was the previous one. So just as a backup, I keep the previous one around until I feel I'm confident that everything is in there. Otherwise I have to redo the work, because, for instance, keyboard shortcuts are in there, and there's nothing more tedious than making keyboard shortcuts all the 50 over and over again. All right, so that's why we have, for instance, in some of the operating systems, a Decomp file, but everyone has one, so it's logical, it's clear. There's a Decomp file for the ArcoLinux ISO, the big one, and all the rest is for the ArcoLinux B guys, right? Okay, so the Decomp for database, some of the stuff is in there, not all of the stuff. Not every desktop uses it. Okay. ArcoLinux desktop is everything that is desktop related. Let's take an example, for instance. OpenBox has configuration to run OpenBox. So it's gonna be in the .config. We need, this is something different. Well, I took an exception. This is, the content.conf is right now in the .config at that level. And the OpenBox folder is this one. And this one is just for us to keep a backup, a trace of what we did, all the contents we've used, because content is an evolution. New guys are developing it, new things come on, and well, we want to keep around what we did last time, and might help you if you run into an issue. You compare again. Control H. This one is everything to do with the building of the ISO. This is the most critical thing. This, like I said, that one is the one that's used everywhere. If we make 64, if we make 100 ISOs, it's all a template of a copy paste of this one. We start with this, we change the name to ArcoLinux B, BSPWM, we build it, we change some Lego blocks in there, and that's it. That's the only thing we do. We have one ISO. This is how we started. Secondly, user said it's too bloated, we want the minimal, we want the black one. So that's secondly in line. We gave this to you as a black kind of arch thing. So you're skipping phase 1 actually, and phase 2, bits of phase 2 as well. Anyway, the ArcoLinux way is a little bit skipped. You end up in a black screen and you start scripting. So that's the ArcoLinux D. That's the one that we just saw here, right? Then last but not least, ArcoLinux B came in a picture. That we say, look, here is our knowledge of building an ISO. Now you choose yourself. Choose what you want to have. What packages do you want on your ISO? Go ahead, choose and run. So the ArcoLinux B project. And the rest is for development. So if I don't want to break your building at a particular moment in time, I'm gonna build a development ISO or a development ISO for the D or the normal ArcoLinux. The repos are the repositories, so the stuff that's where you get your packages from are these guys, and they're signed. So you can always check up if that's okay, if that can be trusted. That's signing. And the wallpapers, we've moved them away. They're not in our repo anymore. So you'll see that, well, it probably is still in your repo, but in the ISO, we've just put hashtags in front of it. So these hashtags, you can put them as well in there in the npacman, which is our alias to open up etcpacman.conf. Put your hashtags there and you won't see them anymore. If you have your own wallpapers, like probably everyone has, these lines are no longer there. We just have these two. And the beta testers, they use the testing repo as well. Carly is anything Carly related, so you get things or you pull things, and that's done. So there we built our ISO from scratch. We start actually with an arch ISO structure, and then we'll build it up. And that's the personal thing, so personal folder. The only one relevant to ArcoLinux is ArcoLinux Nemesis. So after a clean installation, I'll install more stuff that's not on the ISO, right? So you go and check if you can reuse the code. Flameshot goes on there, Discord, Dropbox, Spotify, Telegram, things that we like as communications, which maybe it's a good time to have a look at. I've made a nice little icon online. So this is the page you need to see and watch if you want to know more about ArcoLinux. So lots of information in here. What I want to show is these nice icons. So join us on Discord, join us on Telegram. Well, yeah, there is indeed a game changer. We can install all these packages because, desktops, because of the change in names and this restructuring and well, a lot of work anyway, but it pays off. As you see, we have now the possibility to just install any of these guys, but as a rule, there can be only one config and there can be only one deconfig. That's it. That's all you have to remember. These two guys are actually providing the same kind of folders, folders and files. So compare. These guys are all the same. Sometimes, not in this case, I assume. Not in this case, right? But you'll see. Oh yeah, sure. Wait. Compare. Same. These things are no, not in this case. Bad example. How about these three? Compare. folders have no differences. Here they are. So if you want to install, these guys are everywhere. So that means that if you want to install all three of them, you can't, because Pacman says only one package can deliver a file. You can't have two packages that deliver the same file. That's a conflict. That's not possible. So basically, all you need to remember is anything ArcoLinux config, one file. Anything ArcoLinux deconfig, one file. And everything else should just work. Otherwise, tell us. All right, that's it for me. I hope things became a little bit more clear. Yeah, maybe this one, the last one, is all the rest I don't have a place for. I see there is some things we need to get rid of. So this is not correct. So I've been working on the scripts. So get all ArcoLinux. This should be the new list. And it's not. I see there are also things in here that should be somewhere else. So I'll probably need to get my new script there. That's an old script that's running. All right, anyway, I hope the video was clear, more clear, that we have here divisions, and that's how we actually, what I've actually done, the best way to tell you is that we had too many Lego blocks, and we have these big boxes, and we said let's put the Lego boxes that belong together. So this is a box with all the Lego blocks of Calamaris. This one is all for configuration, so the .config. They will conflict with each other, but it's for the ArcoLinux B ISOs. The ArcoLinux D, everything for the ArcoLinux D ISO, script away. These are all the Lego blocks for the Decomp, for every single desktop. So that's how we see it. You should see it as really barrels, boxes of Lego blocks that belong together. And this one is just gonna be the rest box. If it's not in here, it's gonna be in here, basically. And the same, maybe we can show that as well. Well, no, I can't because I've not downloaded it here. And the same structure I use for the building. So yeah, everything just became much faster for me to develop because I find my stuff much faster because of the structure. And maybe it's not a bad thing to have this structure in your head as well when you start scripting away. All right, enjoy.